Perspective, hosted by Eagle Land. All things Colorado ranches from the owner's perspective.
Hello, my name is Joey Burns, and I am the owner-broker of Eagle Land Brokerage, and I want to welcome you to the Owner's Perspective. We are starting a new sequence within the Owner's Perspective, and it's our property spotlight. You know, many times when you want to hear about a ranch, there's so many emotional music and videos and photographs. Sometimes you just want to know about the nuts and bolts of a piece of property. And so today, I'm going to highlight the Lake Fork River Ranch in Lake City, Colorado. The Lake Fork River Ranch is one of those ranches that if somebody makes a phone call to us and says, hey, Joey, I'm just looking for the perfect ranch. I'm looking for this great mountain getaway, but, you know, it's got to have really good access. I mean, I'd like paved road access, and I'd like to have, I like to be able to abut public land. You know, so I need some really good privacy, but I want to bring my wife and my kids. And so, you know, I need to be close to a town so I can be able to go into town and get something to eat. And, by the way, if it had some really good hunting and then also, maybe even a river, that would be great. And so that's kind of when my eyes roll and I'm like, yeah, well, let's see if we could find that. Very difficult to find. The neat thing is the Lake Fork River Ranch hits all those marks. This is a beautiful ranch that is, south and west of Gunnison, Colorado, and 10 miles outside of the little mountain town of Lake City, Colorado. The ranch sits on the east side of Highway 149, and there's about 1,065 acres. On that 1,065 acres is a very nice, well-accommodated log home. There's a large storage shed, horse facilities. But this ranch crosses over the Lake Fork of the Gunnison River, which abuts this ranch for 1 mile. At the upper end of the ranch, as it climbs elevation, it adjoins National Forest. And this National Forest that it adjoins, if you look at the topography map, it just sits below a large mesa that is back behind it to the east. And so as far as pressure goes, the public has easy access to that upper mesa, but as it comes over the mesa and it starts pushing those animals down, it's very steep, and as it comes down to adjoin the ranch, it gives us this great amount of public land. It's very, very difficult for the public to access. So the ranch, as I mentioned, adjoins the Lake Fork of the Gunnison River for 1 mile. What's interesting about this is downstream, which is to the north, there's an additional 2 miles of fishing that this ranch has access to. Now, I'll be really clear, the ranch abuts a river that has public access. So even the mile that touches the ranch, the public has a 20-foot easement where they can fish. So you could have some other ranch or other individuals fishing this. But think about this, 3 miles of fishing. If you started in the morning, you'd have a tough time getting to the north and getting to that other 3 miles. But what's really interesting about this piece of property is to the south, is the Lake Fork Hunting and Fishing Club. This is a very exclusive club that has 11 stock ponds and an additional 3 miles of private fishing just for the club members. We have a full membership into that club. So you not only have 3 miles of fishing going downstream, you have 3 miles of fishing going upstream that's private with these stock ponds that all you have to do is get there with your fishing pole and you'll be catching fish over and over again. So this is a very, very unique situation that is just 10 miles out of the town of Lake City, where if you roll into town, it takes you 15 minutes and you can be at Packers having a hamburger. One of the other really interesting parts about this is as you're driving to Lake City from Gunnison, you're kind of in like a valley floor. So the majority of the ranch goes to the east and starts going up in elevation. And right through the middle of it is Norris Creek, which runs year-round. On the west side of the highway, it goes up about the same elevation, and there's a private access that we have all the way up to the top of the ridge, right against the wilderness area. We have a 5-acre parcel with a small 4-bedroom off-grid cabin. That's just super quaint, beautiful little cabin that faces straight to the east. So what's really cool is as you're on the ranch at the upper cabin, you have all the access you want to this public ground that's very difficult to get to, but you're looking east at the ranch and you're able to see the game and be able to see kind of the movement of what's going on. And so it's a really neat kind of perch to watch what's going on the larger section. But on the inverse, if you're on the larger section at the high elevation looking back towards the cabin, you also are looking at this vast amount of public ground and this large bowl of just high timber where there's elk and you can see wildlife moving. So the bottom line is, if you're in hunting unit 66 and you have an elk tag, you can go to either side and not only hunt the private land, but also the public land if you have the right tag. So again, let me just summarize. We got 1,165 acres of private ground, 2 cabins, shop, horse facilities, public land access, paved road access, 6 miles of fishable water, all within 10 miles of Lake City, Colorado. This is a must-see, very, very difficult to find. This is our first ranch spotlight at Eagle Land Brokerage on the owner's perspective. So come join us, give us a call, we'll set up a tour.